Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of DeleteLawZ. What's going on out there in the land of the unfree America? How is everybody doing today? Thank you guys so much for coming. I appreciate it. I just wanted to say thank you to the 500,000 people who have subscribed to this channel. We're actually short. We're 32 people short. I figured over this live stream, we would probably add 32 people. So if you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. My name is ChilleDeCastro. I am a constitutional law scholar. I'm autodidactic. I learned everything myself. After Michael Moore, the chief of police of LAPD, today no-knock raided my home in the year 2002, not once, but twice in the same 30-day period. That made me go down a road to understand exactly how and why the police could no-knock raid my home with no criminal history of chemicals and no criminal history of any kind of violence at all whatsoever. I've never been accused of violence by anybody ever. And this team, Team DLZ, is the best group of people I've ever known. The most empathetic, the most giving, the most loving, the most understanding. I am so grateful to be a leader on this team. And I thank all of you. Thank all of you for trusting me and instilling your faith in me to lead properly. I promise you, I will run for governor. I will win the governorship, and I will change the policies of policing from the top down. I guarantee you, I will not stop. Put in the chat, we don't stop. We don't stop. We don't stop. Everybody put that in the chat for me, please. If you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Let's get those 30 more subscribers so that this is truly a 500,000 episode. It's funny, I don't really celebrate milestones in social media because the change happens only at the executive level of government. And that's where we have to get. That's where we have to get. We have to get to the executive level of government or nothing's going to change. Now, I'm going to show a little bit of this video because, well, it's the only place I can find the body cam footage. I can't find this video body cam footage anywhere else. This is the only place I can find all the body cam footage. So welcome, everybody. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Take your finger and reach down and just tap the like button. I am on day 4 or 5 of oral surgery. My jaw is absolutely killing me. It hurts so bad every day. I cannot believe how much pain I'm in, but it is true. However, we don't stop. Let's get into this video. We're going to break it down, and then we're going to talk about exactly the reason why so many people are having problems with these jackboot thug pig organization that they call themselves law enforcers when they're not law enforcers. They are peace officers. Each and every one of them is.
Hi, Doug. Douglas, Mr. Slade. Yes. How you doing? All right. We got a call from, was it the veterans?
I don't know what they call.
We got a call, so that means we get to violate your rights.
Can we come in and talk to you for a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anyone else in the house?
No, that's it.
So, I'm just going to make sure nobody else is
No,
in
please.
here.
No. Hold on. I actually know.
All right. Just
I'm
relax.
not asking you to leave because this is my house.
Okay.
Number one, you just can't walk around.
Let me ask you just a couple questions.
Let me ask you just a couple questions. What do we do when the cops ask us questions? You say, I plead the Fifth Amendment as you're filming. This veteran is not filming. He did not plead the Fifth Amendment.
Okay. The veterans people, they were concerned, okay, regarding a couple things. One was that you were threatening to commit suicide.
That's not true.
Okay, so what I'm here for is just to make sure you're not going to do something like that. You understand? So if you need our help, that's what I'm here for.
I'm okay.
So we're not here to mess with you, bother you, or anything.
Well, you do understand if you just walk in my place and you just automatically start walking around, and I know y'all wear body cams as well. I'm extra unfortunate too. If you just come in my place like that and you just start walking around, you have to have my permission to do that.
So the mistake he made, as Derek Morris pointed out, the mistake that he made is he answered the door. When the police knock on your door, they can't come in if they don't know you're there and they don't have a warrant. They're not allowed to just walk in your house no matter what anybody told them. There's no probable cause. You have to have a warrant. 1961, Matt versus Ohio. You have to have a warrant. And he answered the door. He should not have answered that door.
I don't appreciate that. You can't violate my body cams as well. I'm extra unfortunate too. If you just come in my place like that and you just start walking around, you have to have my permission to do that. So I don't appreciate that. You can't violate my rights because you got to call it help.
Okay. Right.
So you're not helping me if you just come in and you automatically start violating.
Well, sir, it was more for like officer safety.
No, it's not officer safety because I didn't even have.
They just said that they entered into his house for their safety. Listen carefully.
Okay. Right.
So you're not helping me if you just come in and you automatically start violating.
Well, sir, it was more for like officer safety.
So they just said they went into his house for officer safety. And he said he's an ex-copper.
No, it's not officer safety because I didn't even have to let you in.
Right.
So
Then why did you let them in? Why did you open the door? When the cops come to your door and say, come out, wherever you are, don't answer the door.
no, don't say right because it's about my safety because you're in my domain. And if you're here to help me, you can't say, well, my safety is because I have no weapons. Obviously,
we don't know that.
You do know that because I'm asking you to leave. Please leave. I'm asking you to leave.
You don't feel
I
like
know.
yourself.
I'm asking you to leave.
You don't feel like
Please
hurting
leave.
yourself.
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
Well, if you answer this question, then
I'm asking.
So they're at 2 minutes and we're at 2 minutes and 30 seconds here on this video right here. We're gonna come right. This is just your daily friendly reminder from the inside of the safety of your own home. If the cops come to your door, don't answer the door.
Open the door, please.
If he had a warrant, they would break the door down and arrest me.
You're leaving until you open the door. You hear me in there?
Well, you can go ahead and wait as long as you want because I'm going to stay inside my own home until I look out the window and I know that you coppers are gone.
We ain't leaving until you open the door.
What I'm going to do from here,
Open this door right this second.
I'm going to sit down. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to wait for those coppers to leave. If the cops have a warrant to come into your home, they will. If they don't, they won't. They can only spend a certain amount of time outside your door and then they have to leave. Whatever you do for the love of God, if the cops are beating on your door and saying, come out, wherever you are, don't come out. I would rather pay for a new door than go outside and chance being arrested when there's no warrant for my arrest.
My safety because I have no weapons. Obviously,
we don't know that.
You do know that because I'm in my say right because it's you automatically start violating.
Well, sir, it was more for like officer safety.
No, it's not officer safety.
Everything is officer safety. And why is that? Because the 1968 holding called Terry versus Ohio. If you've never heard of it, now you have.
I didn't even have to let you in.
Right.
So no, don't say right because it's about my safety because you're in my domain. And if you're here to help me, you can't say, well, my safety is because I have no weapons. Obviously,
we don't know that.
You do know that because I'm asking you to leave.
There you go.
Please leave. I'm asking you to leave.
You don't feel like
I know.
hurting yourself.
I'm asking you to leave.
You don't feel like
Please
hurting
leave.
yourself.
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
Well, if you answer this question, then
He didn't plead the Fifth Amendment from the beginning. If he had pled the Fifth Amendment from the very beginning, the Fifth Amendment's unequivocal. You can't ask me another question once I've pled the Fifth Amendment. But now they're going to ask him more questions and he's not going to answer them and they're going to torture cuff him.
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
I'm about to put you in handcuffs, sir.
For what?
If you do that, that's your choice.
Okay, turn around. Put your hands behind.
Why would you put me in handcuffs?
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
What have I done?
You're going to listen to what I said. You're going to put down the phone. You're calling 911, and I'm standing right here.
But what have I done?
Put down the damn phone.
Why are you
Turn
cursing
around and
at
put
me?
your hands
Why
behind
are
your
you
back.
using
Put
profanity
your
at
hands
me?
behind your back.
Why are you using?
Because you know what? You're calling 911, and we're standing right in front of
But
you.
I'm asking you to leave my residence.
I'm not leaving your place now.
He's calling more cops when there's cops in front of him bugging him.
Turn around. Put
You
your hands
said you
behind your
came
back.
here to help
I'm not doing that now. Put your hands behind your back. You're calling 911 right in front of us.
Because I asked you to leave my residence.
we can't leave.
You know this.
Determined.
You know this.
He's getting torture
You
cuffed.
know exactly what I'm talking about.
No,
If you were law
I have
enforcement, then
rights.
you would understand.
Okay. And this is why African Americans have issues with law.
Don't start that.
Oh no, it's you know, and yeah, for sure, the black people definitely have a problem with people who call themselves law enforcers, but they're peace officers. But put a 1 in the chat if this happens to all of us. Put a 1 in the chat if this is all colors now. Terry versus Ohio that allows them to put him in torture cuffs and detain him. Detainment didn't exist before 1968. It was invented. by a racist Supreme Court for black people. So he is correct. He is correct. However, he's incorrect in the idea that, put a one in the chat if you're not black and you can't stand these jackboot thug pigs. Put a one in the chat if you've been detained. Put a one in the chat if you've been torture cuffed. Put a one in the chat if you understand that the system itself is corroded and corrupted and it must be changed from the top down. It's unbelievable what we're seeing here. I just wanted people to understand. I went to Ironton, Ohio, a population of 10,000, mostly white people, and they're the most oppressed little town I've been in maybe in my whole life. We're all in it together, people. Don't let them separate us by race.
I'm talking about.
No,
If you were law enforcement, then you would understand.
Okay.
Oh, if you were a piggy, then you would understand that I get to be in charge of everything you are.
And this is why African Americans have issues with law
Don't
enforcement.
start that.
All of us do, brother.
Don't start that. That's a bunch of
I
nonsense.
asked you to leave, and you use profanity at someone?
That's okay. I could use that.
Oh, really?
if I
For
want,
someone
yes.
who you concerned about
Yes.
doing something to themselves?
Hey, you know what? When you're not listening to commands, what did you do?
That wasn't a command.
You're not listening to commands in my house? Why the hell did he open the door?
All right.
A command for me to ask you to leave my residency?
You got.
Command us to do.
I can ask you to leave if you're not supposed. Why are you here? You were here to help me, and
We are here because somebody wanted us to shut down.
and I told you I was fine. And then you started exacerbating my condition. Why are you putting your hand up like for me not to speak? You can't help a person if you don't want to listen to what they're saying.
Man, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? But they don't care about helping you, dude. They want to hurt you. They want to dominate you.
If I ask you to leave because you're exacerbating my disability, which clearly you're aware I'm a person with a disability because you already observed, number one, you see a sign right here that's saying that. Number two,
How do I know what that is?
Yeah. What is that?
oh, well,
How do we know what that is? Yeah.
right here that's saying that. Number two,
How do I know what that is?
Yeah.
Beta male said something. Beta male backed him up. Yeah.
What is that?
oh, well, how do you
How do you know I don't have one?
You could, but guess what?
Oh, no, we know you're mentally ill, bro. You signed up to be a pig.
If you had one and you came in my residency and I
So
came,
you're the victim here, right? You're the victim here, right?
Well,
Yeah, he is the victim here. Yes, you're making him a victim.
you guys are victimizing me. And now
Yes.
I'm in cuffs.
Well, you're in cuffs now because of the way.
Torture cuffs. Put it in the chat. Torture cuffs are always torture. Put it in the chat. Torture cuffs are always torture.
You're acting.
Why? I
Who else?
asked my residency and I
So
came,
you're the victim here, right? You're the victim here, right?
Well, you guys are victimizing me. And now I'm in cuffs.
Well, you're in cuffs now because of the way you're acting.
Why? I asked
Who
you
else
not
is
to
here?
touch my plate.
Don't.
Why are you grabbing me? I'm not doing it.
Relax. Relax.
But I asked you not to move
Relax.
my plate. Okay, that's the problem.
You-
Stay right there.
No, you cannot.
Why not?
Because you are in our custody right now. You are detained.
Okay. I'm getting
Wait, you know what? You can call up whoever you talk to and tell them, explain to them
Sir, would you please
why
don't
we're here.
step on my rug, please? That's a very expensive rug.
Who says I want to step on your rug?
Why are you acting like
These your shoes?
See,
Who says I want to step on your rug? He said he didn't want you in his house. He asked you to leave. You're not solving his problem by arresting him and putting him in torture cuffs. It's ridiculous. If he is going through a mental crisis, treating him like this isn't going to help. It's going to exacerbate it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. You can put them on. You have ID with you?
I do, but I need to get it. I can't get it.
Where's your ID?
Would you please remove your hands off of me?
No, I will not.
I'm not resisting.
No, I will not. No, I will not. And I recommend you don't resist. So put your shoes on.
Why would I resist so y'all can
Go ahead,
put my
put your
ass?
shoes on.
That's what y'all want to do anyhow.
What's your problem?
You?
You know what? We
He-
came here because
you.
you called for help.
He didn't call. Did you see that? What's your problem? You're my problem.
resist. So put your shoes on.
Why would I resist?
Put your shoes on.
No, I will not. No, I will not. And I recommend you don't resist. So put your shoes on.
Why would I resist so y'all can
Go ahead,
put
put
my
your
ass?
shoes on.
That's what y'all want to do anyhow.
What's your problem?
You?
You know what? We came
You
here
are
because
the problem.
You called for help.
I didn't
You-
call you. I didn't call you.
Who'd you call?
I did not call
Who
you.
did you call?
I didn't call
Who
you.
do you think they're gonna call?
I don't know.
So if you call the veterans office, then they're gonna send the cops to your house. Then what good's the Veterans Affairs? What good is it? You call because you're feeling down, you're feeling suicidal, and so then they send pigs to your house. How are pigs going to help you through suicide? It always boggles my mind, and it's part of the thing that I'll change as governor. When someone's saying they're feeling suicidal, you don't send a pig there with a gun. What are we seeing in video after video after video? When you send a pig with a gun to someone who's autistic or someone who's having a mental episode or someone who's a veteran, what happens? The pig ruins it because pigs are filthy, dirty animals. JBTP, Jackboot Thug Pig. Put it in the comment section. JBTP. Put it in the comment section. Why would you send pigs in to help out someone in mental distress? These are the lowest common denominator of our society. The lowest, dumbest people become pigs. Because a good person, there's no way they could look at those sets of policies, procedures, and protocols and say, yeah, I think I want to do that because I want to help people. How is putting this man in torture cuffs and treating him like he doesn't matter? How does that help him?
You know what? We came here because you called for help.
I didn't call you. I didn't call you.
Who did you call?
I did not call you.
Who did you call?
I didn't call you.
Who do you think they're going to call?
I don't know. Obviously, I wouldn't want them to call you all.
Well, they did.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
and now you're in our custody because you're under a mental evaluation.
That's funny. Okay. I'm glad, and the body cams are working too.
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
Where's your ID?
Do you want your ID?
I can't get it because then I'm not going to allow you to go through my things here either.
Okay. So you don't own any weapons.
He didn't plead the Fifth Amendment from the very beginning. It's on the Fifth Amendment cop card. It starts right off on number 4. Cop says he has reasonable articulable suspicion. I plead the Fifth Amendment. I identify as a good citizen. No ID is required. No ID is required without probable cause. Hibble versus Nevada, 2004. It's just like your credit card, just like a driver's license. I sell them for $10, 2 for 15. I give a lot of them away. I've given away thousands of them so that you have the card in your wallet. The yellow and black card only comes out when the cops come around. Step one, cop cited. You start filming. Say, I invoke 1A. Step number 2, cop approaches and says any words. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. These cops have continued to pepper him with questions because he won't plead the Fifth Amendment. Obviously, he has not seen these videos or he would have pled the Fifth Amendment.
I already showed you that I had no weapons.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Okay, because then I'm not going to allow you to go through my things here either.
Okay, so you don't own any weapons.
I already showed you that I had no weapons.
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Okay, you don't know anything.
Because I could go looking for anywhere that you might have a weapon if you're going on a 5150 hold.
I shouldn't be on a 5150 hold.
Why don't you?
That's an abuse of authority to put someone on a 5150 hold.
It says right on your trifold right here, don't ask me where I'm coming from. Don't ask me where I'm going. Don't ask me where I've been. Don't ask me if I have a gun. I plead the Fifth Amendment. This is how you do it. You do it with the trifold, you do it with the cop card, and you back it up with your camera in their face. Thankfully, this man was able to get the body cam footage, but this is the only channel I could find it on. If anybody else can find this body cam footage, I would love to have this body cam footage and not show it on this channel. That would be great.
Okay. Are these your keys to your apartment, sir?
They are.
Okay. And I don't believe you are law enforcement the way you're acting.
I can't believe.
I don't believe you're.
And I don't believe you are law enforcement the way you're acting.
Oh, because you don't kowtow to my authority. Then all of a sudden, you're not saying who you are. I don't believe you. You're a liar. You weren't really a piggo.
I can't believe you're a law enforcement either. But you are.
Yep.
Neither one of them were ever in law enforcement. Roy gifted 5 memberships, everybody. Everybody get a membership from Roy. None of them are law enforcement. All of them go to POST, Peace Officers Standards and Training, POST. They graduate from POST. They magically become a law enforcer right after that. If our founding fathers were alive today, they would burn the system to the ground. The only reason you have rights protectors is to uphold the individual liberty of Americans, to uphold individual rights, to uphold your Second Amendment right to bear arms, to uphold your Fourth Amendment right to be free of unreasonable searches and seizures. Does this look like it's an unreasonable search and seizure? Yes, it does. Put a 1 in the chat if this is unreasonable. Cuffing him up? They didn't go in there with a white shirt and a pair of slacks on and say, hey, man, we got a call from the VA's office. You're having a hard time. Want to sit down and talk, man? What's going on? How you feeling? They didn't do that. They went in there like pigs. Pigs are the most invasive species on Earth. Did you know that? The most invasive species on Earth is the pig. All through Texas, they have to kill wild pigs because they are so invasive. They're as bad as the snake. I guess they're in the same family, aren't they?
Which we see it all too often in terms of how law enforcement
Act towards who?
Hey, could you go let Aaron know that I'm being unlawfully detained?
Don't worry about it.
Could you do that for me? Aaron, the manager here. Could you let him know? Could you let him know? Aaron,
Yeah, you can make
go
your
tell
phone.
Donna for me. Will you go tell Donna for me?
That right here, Donna.
John, go tell Aaron that I'm being unlawfully detained. Aaron. Yes, for no reason. For no reason whatsoever.
You called us.
I did not call you. I called you so you.
Yeah.
Why are you using the arm bar on me? I'm turning around. What are you? Oh, I gotta face this way now.
Dehumanize him. Treat him as though he can't face the same way that others face. Shackle him like a pig and then make it so he doesn't get to participate in society. Make him look at a wall. You can't look at us. We're scared if you're looking at us. You and I have allowed this. You and I have allowed this to happen. This is absolutely atrocious.
What you mean? How am I acting? I hope this is gonna be worth it to you.
Look at the condescending look that this pig is giving to him.
Oh, I gotta face this way now. What you mean? How am I acting? I hope this is gonna be worth it to you.
Look at that. I didn't.
What you mean? How am I acting? I hope this is gonna be worth it.
Look at that. Look at how this pig is looking at him all condescending when this man just really needed a friend to sit down and talk to him. He just needed someone to come in and say, hey, man, how you feeling? How you doing? Is everything okay? And that's not what this guy did. That's not what he did at all.
To you. I hope it's not be worth it. Yeah, not for you. It is for me to say, I'm a citizen. Unfortunately, you all never did.
I don't disagree with that. Don't pull me.
What you mean don't pull you? I'm walking. I'm walking. What you mean don't pull you?
You think I'm just here for the fun of it?
Yeah, apparently you decided to escalate the matter. So yes.
Do you think I'm
Yes,
here for the fun of
I
it?
do. Yes, I do. You escalated the matter. You escalated the matter.
You will be sitting down in this car, okay?
Why wouldn't I not sit down in the
Good,
car?
thank you, sir.
Listen to the domination they're putting on this man. You will sit down in this car. They're treating him so they want him to kill himself.
Blade has now been arrested.
I can't listen to a front porch auditor.
I want to if you're violating my rights. Don't tell me. Oh, so that's retaliation then. I can call wherever I want to. I have not violated any laws. If I want to call 911,
Is there an extension on it?
Call 911. Y'all don't always
No.
act in accordance to the law either. Plenty of y'all get arrested and in prisons. Your badge don't make you above the law. Your badge.
I wish that was true. Put a 1 in the chat if these guys are treated like they're above the law. If they are the sovereign citizens. Put a 1 in the chat if cops are not held accountable. Put a 1 in the chat, like no matter how many times I sue the cops who I sue on a personal, individual basis, they will not pay for what they've done to me. I was arrested 4 or 5 days ago on Valentine's Day. I'm going to sue every single pig on the scene except for the one who loosened my cuffs. Every one of the other pigs is going to get sued. None of them will be held accountable. None of them. And they've abolished qualified immunity in New Mexico, in Colorado, in Connecticut, and in New York City. It's made no difference. And why is that? Because of Terry versus Ohio. Terry versus Ohio puts officer safety above your rights, above your freedom. And when it puts that above your rights, if they are following the policies that were created by the Supreme Court, qualified immunity doesn't matter. They still won't be held accountable. They'll say, no, they were following policy, so they won't be individually held accountable. The taxpayers will pay you. That's the problem. The problem is Terry versus Ohio. Nothing else. That's the biggest problem we have is Terry versus Ohio.
It does not cause me not to have rights. Violate the rights of the past. Again, because I called 911, what do you find out? I can call 911.
Not when I'm there, sir.
Yeah, what to me, not when you're there.
It's.
If I ask you to leave.
Well, you're not gonna let me answer. Then I'm not gonna answer.
Okay, but you don't have a lot of answers.
Actually, what you did was against the law.
It's not against the law. What you did was against my rights, so it was against the law as well. Your badge does not allow you to deny a person their constitutional rights. When I asked you to leave, you should leave. You asked me, I told you that I was in no danger to myself or others. You did not, and you noticed that based upon your observation. So when I asked you to leave after you guys started that's my disability, you should have left. Don't just hate me because I'm asking you to leave my residence.
The officers attempted to call a supervisor.
These are the free trifolds going out from the weekend when I gave away trifolds to people. Hundreds of people contacted me. Dozens of you donated money to me. And it's my mission to get a trifold in every single car in America where you plead the Fifth Amendment trifold. And so hundreds of you contacted me, said you didn't have the $20. Dozens of you donated money. I took the money you donated and I bought trifolds and I'm sending these off. Now the mail's taking forever right now. It's taking 7 to 10 days to get mail. Sometimes it's so long because the mail system totally has sucked. And so now these are going out. Everybody's getting their trifolds. Thank you guys for donating. I really appreciate it for your super chats, for your cash apps. I told you I would give away the trifolds. I even sent a response letter to every person who contacted me and said, you won. Don't write back. I'm getting hundreds and hundreds of emails. Do not write back. Thank you. Please don't say thank you. I'm sending you the trifolds though. These are going out today. Thanks, JB. That's how many people contacted me and said they wanted a free trifold. And I told you I would fulfill it. I'm doing exactly as I said. All I have to do is keep my word. Keep my word. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm never going to stop. We don't stop. Put it in the chat. We don't stop. Sorry about that. So I'm going to show you this video, and I showed this previously. Before, and I had I didn't really understand the. Do me a favor right now, everybody, hit the like button. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, 2/3 of you are not subscribed. We're just about to cross over the 500,000 mark. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button real quick because we're 10 people away from being at 500,000 subscribers. I waited to do this live. I typically do the live about noon, but I waited so that we could kind of celebrate together as a team and just celebrate the number, because after this, we got to get to 1 million so that we can do sit-ins across the country. So that man was dramatically cheated. And I hope he gets the money that he sues for because he deserves it. God bless you. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a trifold or you have a Fifth Amendment cop card. I'm just wondering. Put a 1 in the chat if you have a trifold or a Fifth Amendment cop card. You have to have these in your car. You have to have the yellow and black card in your wallet. The yellow and black card only comes out when there's a pig standing in front of you. And then you read step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. 6 steps with 6 case law. The same thing with the trifold. You immediately invoke your Fifth Amendment right. And then I designed the trifold to do a step-by-step tutorial. So when the cop says, step out of the car, great. Open the trifold, flip it open, page 1. Driver has to get out of the car. Before you get out of the car, you tell him, I'm not putting down my phone. I have a right to film cops. My right to film cops is upheld by Turner versus Driver, 2017, and Israel versus Yeehaw. So you let the cop know before you get out of the car, that I will be filming. If you take my phone away from me, you're violating my civil rights. And the cop will say, oh, I'm going to detain him for officer safety as he's filming the whole thing. It's just so preposterous on its face. I will change that as governor. I guarantee it.
Learning about the moments just before a James City County police officer shot his sergeant outside a Williamsburg bar.
Michael Rusk is facing charges in connection to that January shooting, which seriously hurt Sergeant Christopher Gibson. Investigators initially said the two officers got into a fight after a night of drinking. But as 10 on your side's Julie Millay learned, the shooting might have been about much more than a bar fight.
Yeah,
Julie?
Tom and Amy, investigators simply said the two officers involved in the shooting were known to each other. Now we're learning what that might really mean. The alleged shooter, Michael Rusk, says he pulled the trigger in self-defense because of unwanted advances by his sergeant. We're about to share exclusive surveillance video and the 911 call from the shooting, which we played for Michael Rusk's family for the first time. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to hear it.
For the first time, Jason Rusk is hearing the 911 call his son made in the early.
And listen, so you're going to hear this guy, and just so, listen, I made this video before. This is not a new story. I don't know how old it is, maybe a year, half a year old. And oh, thank you for joining. I appreciate it. New member, everybody. Welcome. Remember Your Rights Canada. So I made this video about 6 months or a year ago. And when you're going to hear this copper jump on the phone, he sounds like a wafy little gay guy, because he is. And so I want you to understand, though, that he's calling and saying that someone is attempting to rape him. And so I want you guys to know that. I kind of laughed at it before, and I thought, of course, they're all beta male gay guys, right? But then I went back and I talked to a friend of mine who's gay, and he watched it, the video that I had made, and I took the video down. Because sexual assault is not funny, no matter who it is. I don't care if you're a copper or not. I don't lose sleep when these coppers move on from life, but I don't wish anybody death. And this movement is not nonviolent. We are not violent people. We will sit in on police departments when we get to those numbers. Getting to 500,000 today is the first stepstone. We're going to get to 1 million, 2 million, 10 million. I'm going to run for governor and win. And we're going to change policing from the top down. But before we do that, we're going to have to go sit in on police departments. So you're going to hear this guy. He sounds really gay and sounds like he's distressed. But remember, he's being sexually assaulted. And the guy's trying to rape him.
For the first time, Jason Rusk is hearing the 911 call his son made in the early morning hours of January 25th.
I shot Sergeant Gibson. Do what? I shot Sergeant Gibson. I pulled a gun on him. He's advancing on me. Is he breathing? He just fell out.
James City County Police.
His guts fell out is what he said. And you take a look at him, and I lived in West Hollywood, California for over 20 years. He looks like a little gay guy, but that doesn't mean that he should be sexually assaulted or should be RAPED'd. He should not be. And his supervisor shouldn't be coming on to him. It's a sexual assault, whether you're a man or a woman.
Police officer Michael Rusk called 911 after he allegedly shot his superior officer, Sergeant.
And he looks queer as can be. You look at him and he just looks like a gay guy. I mean, because you know he's gay, so he looks gay. But it's not funny that he was trying to come on to someone who's in an inferior position underneath of him in a militaristic system.
Christopher Gibson outside a Williamsburg bar, where the two had been drinking together. Video given exclusively to 10 on Your Side shows the two officers before this happened.
I shot his right arm. Okay, I need you to take a deep breath for me, okay? Is he breathing? Trying. Is he breathing? I'm trying to save his life.
The 911 call goes on for just over 5 minutes. That's when responding officers show up to find Gibson had been shot 3 times, seriously hurt in his stomach and shoulder. Court documents show Gibson told officers Rusk shot him after a verbal argument. But Rusk, his dad, and his lawyers say it was much more than that.
Yeah, it was someone advancing on you who's in a superior position as your boss in a militaristic system where you're supposed to follow all orders.
It started to get creepy.
Jason Rusk says his son told him about unwanted attention he got from his superior officer leading up to the shooting, and that he had reported it to others on the force.
There was a year's worth of grooming that had taken place.
Rusk says his son is the victim of unwanted sexual advances and had been for a long time.
What do you think you get when you join a dark Death Star that is full of evil? What do you think you get? How do you think that goes when you join a Death Star? You can't join Darth Vader and think you're going to remain good, or you're not going to be affected by the evil that you've surrounded yourself in. The other night when I was in the dungeon, I told the cop, there was a guy crying, sobbing right there in the middle of everybody, full-grown man sobbing. I told the cop, who was like, oh man, I'm so tired of hearing this. I said, the human brain is not equipped to listen to men crying day in and day out. This is going to warp you, brother. That's what I said to the copper. The supervisor at the dungeon heard me and kind of looked at me and was like, what are you talking to him for? Because I have the ability to affect others. And when I tell you, man, you're going to be effed up from this, the cop said, he kind of shimmered a little bit. You can't watch and listen to what these pigs do to people and think even for a second that you're not going to be affected long term, because you will be.
Extremely inappropriate touching, stalking, the grooming, the previous to the incident assaults.
We reached out to Gibson several times to ask him about these allegations. He declined to speak with us. We also requested from JCCPD
records. Hello, I'm requesting any complaints filed by citizens or fellow officers against investigator Christopher Gibson. Thanks, Julie.
A record of any complaints filed against Gibson during his time there. We were denied. The video shows the officers at the bar prior to the shooting. You can see them sitting across from each other at the start. Then you'll see Gibson move in to sit next to Rusk. Gibson reaches for Rusk's hand under the table, which seems to be met with hesitation from the younger officer. Then
whoa, dude. Whoa.
Rusk's hand under the table, which seems to be met with hesitation from the younger officer. Then, just about an hour before the shooting, the two are seen leaving together. After Gibson puts his hand on Rusk's shoulder, you see Rusk forcefully push him off and put a finger in his face before walking away.
Wow, and look how altered Rusk was. The victim.
Forcefully push him off
big victim.
And put a finger in his face before walking away.
He's walking with a funny gait because he's messed up.
To sit next to Rusk. Gibson reaches for Rusk's hand under the table, which seems to be met with hesitation.
You know, I was an actor in Hollywood 24 years ago. I acted for 10 years off and on to different TV shows and whatnot. And there were many times, too many that I can count, because I was in West Hollywood. I was an actor way before the Me Too movement, where male producers, male directors, male writers, male actors would come on to me. And I would be unequivocal, firm, but at the same time polite. Now, I don't get whacked out on alcohol like these guys are so wasted. There was many times I had to tell a guy, hey, bro, yo, appreciate it, but I'm straight. You know, like, I get it. I respect it. You could be as gay as you want, but you can't like rub on me and stuff. Matter of fact, when I first got to Hollywood in 1999, I was only doing fitness magazines. Back then they used to have so today there's Instagram. You can swipe and look at all the babes or studs, all you want. But back in 1999, there was only magazines. Muscle and Fitness, Fitness RX, Muscle Media. And I did the cover of every single muscle magazine there was. Why don't you trolls find those? Find the muscle magazines I was on the cover of. Show them when I was 25 years old and when I was looking the best I've ever looked. And because I was on the cover of these fitness magazines, when I would go to the gym, and I went to the gym in West Hollywood, predominantly gay guys, and I was so used to men trying to grab me who were gay that I would be able to catch their arm coming in. I would see them reach over to and I would catch it. And I would say, oh, hey, Phil, what's going on? How you doing, bud? Let me put that arm back over there. Appreciate that, though. And now you're seeing it here. This copper is clearly overstepping his boundaries. He walks across from the table. He gets up from where he is.
Can see them sitting across from each other at the start.
He even looks around all seedy. Watch the cop who's coming over to assault him.
Shows the officers at the bar prior to the shooting. You can see them sitting across from each other at the start.
Do you see it?
The officers at the bar prior.
He knows that he's doing something creepy, he knows he's advancing on someone who's not interested in him in a sexual way. And so he looks the other way.
To the shooting.
Watch.
You can see them sitting
Checks the side, make sure no one's watching.
across from each other at the start. Then you'll see Gibson move in to sit next to Rusk. Gibson reaches for Rusk's hand under the table, which seems to be met with hesitation from the younger officer. Then, just about an hour before the shooting, the two are seen leaving together.
Now, the supervisor is twice the girth of the wafy little younger guy.
After Gibson,
so he pushes him, and watch the bigger man kind of laugh as though it's some sort of like play.
Puts his hand on Rusk's shoulder. You see Rusk forcefully push him off and put a finger in his face before walking away.
Don't you come near me, Mr. Man. Don't you come around here. And he's telling him he wants to leave him alone. Why? He tells him. Now, I can mock and do it in a gay way. You leave me alone, Mr. Man. And that's funny. But he is telling him, no, leave me alone. That's enough. That's the reason why I was talking to someone earlier on the phone. When I was very young, there was a woman in my family who was raped and got pregnant and had a baby. I was 12. And that woman was in her teens, and she's a family member of mine. And when that happened, I learned really quickly that when a girl says no, she means no. And I learned at 12 years old. What happened to my family member had such a dramatic impact on me that I believe it saved me from ever being that overly aggressive guy who wouldn't stop when she said no. When women told me no in high school or college, I just rolled over. Okay, baby, we're done. In college, I had some girls say, no, I didn't really mean no. I was like, you said the word no, though. I heard you say no. So I'm out. You have to say yes. And then I'm not going to go into the detail, but I just made it so that it was very clear after that anything we did, she actually did the physicality of doing it. I said, if you want to do it, then do it. Go ahead, do it. I'm not going to go into detail. You can imagine what I said to her. But I said that to any woman ever after college who I would be involved with. If you want to do it, then go ahead, do it. Go ahead, do it. Make it happen. And I would make them do it because I didn't want to ever be charged with anything like that because it badly damaged one of my family members. And she was damaged for she still is. She still deals with it. And she's several years older than me. And I'm 49. You can't push yourself on people physically.
We don't know what happened next, but after the shooting, Rusk makes this claim to the 911 dispatcher.
I told him this zombie kept going. I thought he was gonna rape me. Help me.
If our client was a female, this case would be drastically different.
Rusk's lawyer says the video and 911 call make a clear case for self-defense.
I think it'll show that certain steps weren't taken that needed to be taken.
The attorney says those steps, like looking into Rusk's claims of unwanted sexual advances, could have prevented what Rusk's dad calls a tragedy, which will affect his son for the rest of his life.
He told people from the get-go that he was sexually assaulted. He said no, and he kept on. He said no, and he kept on. If I had a daughter in the same position, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't have an innocent person fighting for their freedom.
Williamsburg officers are investigating the shooting. They had no comment on this story. James City County Police also declined to comment. Calls to the prosecutor trying the case were unreturned. You can
this case.
Hear the complete 911 call on wavy.com.
On wavy.com? Can hear the. So where was this at exactly? I thought he was going to RAPE me. James City County Police Officer Michael Rusk. Sergeant Christopher Gibson. Let's see. Can you guys see what I can see? Okay, you can. This is May 24th. Any news on this? Addresses the shooting involved. Trial postponed for James City County officer. So the man who shot the other man for trying to sexually assault him, he's on trial for shooting him. And this is a month ago. What a travesty of justice. let's see what the article says just real quick and see what the update is here. The trial of James City Michael Rusk has been postponed. The shooting of Christopher Gibson. Rusk was charged with aggravated malicious wounding, not attempted murder. He shot him 3 times with a gun, but that's not attempted murder. Okay, got it. That's not attempted murder. Okay, got that. Both officers were placed on paid leave. Rusk remains on unpaid. Oh, good. Oh man, Rusk remains on unpaid administrative leave, and Gibson was on unspecified alternate duty assignment. That's it. That's all we get. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. What a load of poo. Well, everybody, congratulations. You are now on Team DLZ. We are at 502,000 subscribers, which means that we will have the numbers soon to be able to sit in on police departments and shut them down for a day or two. We're going to get arrested for consciously objecting, but I'm willing to go to jail for consciously objecting. But check that out. And over the last month, the videos are seen 1 million times a day just on this channel alone. That's the average of how many people. The last 28 days, so I guess it's 1.1 million times every day, 1.2 million times every day. 632,000 watch hours, 60,000 subscribers over the past 30 days, over the past 28 days. So there it is, everybody. Congratulations. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't really celebrate stuff like this. It's just, I think it's good to celebrate with y'all. I think it's good that we all get to, I'm just checking this out real quick. So I think it's good that we all get to, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, because we're going to get to 1 million. And then no matter where we go, we'll be able to inundate police departments by peacefully protesting. This is not a channel for violence. I understand a lot of people believe we need to go to a revolution. There's people who will back that idea. I'm not one of them. I'm for the Constitution. I'm for the Bill of Rights. I'm for the rule of law. I'm for peacefully protesting, assembly, petitioning, using press and speech. That is my game. If you're a part of that game, subscribe. If you're not, and you want to go to violence, go somewhere else. Bruce, big thank you, brother. Bruce, can I get a comment? OTVO, overturn Terry versus Ohio. Todd, thank you. Some of these people, Gloria, some of you folks have been with me since the very beginning. I was talking to Chuck last night on the phone. Chuck has been with me since we had 16,000 subscribers on this channel. There were bigger channels in the 1A community attacking me when I had 10,000, 20,000 subscribers. Because whatever. I don't want to get into it. But now we get to see. So this next video here, this is really interesting. I saw this video and I thought, we should cover this because it's not in our country, but I think it's the exact same thing that we deal with here. Can you believe how little of information they gave us on that?
His appearance.
So here this is, and this is a current affair. I think it's out of Australia. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. But dad suffers spinal fracture after being mistaken for youth. Joseph Williams is here. Dark Wolf, good to see you. Top Rock, let's go OTVO. Good to see you. Jim Young, David, nice to see you. Denny, nice to see you. Oh, wow. So Mr. Taskmaster, Jimmy Miller, what I do is, and what we do here is we support people. We do tons of fundraisers on this channel. Last year, we did over $50,000 in fundraising. I think it was 2 years. I can't remember the numbers, but we're over 50 grand of people that we've donated money to, where people here have donated money to people they don't know. I find the video, I see it's an injustice, and we raise the money. And that's what we do on this channel. This channel is full of empaths. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been wronged by the police. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been cheated by the cops. Well, let me put my 1 in there. Put a 1 in the chat if the cops have beat up your father or your brother or your cousin or your lover. Put a 1 in the chat if you've been treated so poorly by a pig that it turned your stomach to the point where you can no longer support this jackboot thug pig organization that call themselves law enforcers. And look, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And what I've done, Mr. Taskmaster, is there's a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that were created by the cops. And I think that this is the best. Here's the best 1 minute video that I can show you that the editor, and I got new editors in October, and I'll tell you what, they are just the best. I wanted an editor to use Premiere Pro, and that's exactly what I have now. And these editors that I'm doing, that I'm working with, are so good, so good. And so let me copy this, and we're gonna come right back to this video. But this, for the people who are new here in the year two, this will really help you understand who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm on this mission. This is a really comprehensive video that you understand everything in 60 seconds. 2002, I was no-knock raided. In the year 2002, I was no-knock raided by the chief of police, Michael Moore, of LAPD, with an entire SWAT team, twice in the same month. Since that date, I began studying the history of America and constitutional law. I am an autodidactic constitutional law scholar. Over the past couple years, what I've done is I've been able to devise a system, understanding that the police have created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols that they use to arrest you. I've also created a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols for you to follow that gives you back the power when you're forced to interact with these jackboot thugs. It has become a tyrannical jackboot thug police state, prison state, death state. I will win the governorship, and I will change the policies from the top down. In the year 2002... So now, Mr. Taskmaster, let me explain to you what I've done. I've created a system where you get your driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration on a laminated card. You stick it inside your trifold called the Fifth Amendment trifold. And then what I do is I send you this broccoli wad rubber band in your envelope with it. I don't have to provide it. Why do I do it? So that you'll stick your license, registration, and proof of insurance up on the visor, and then your other hand goes like into a football position. This left elbow in the windowsill, this left elbow in your seat, or you hold it up. Then you point that at yourself. All I want to see is make sure your head, make sure we see you, the cops in the background. Then when the cop comes up, the first thing you do, you don't care what he says, Mr. Taskmaster. All you do is take your license, registration, proof of insurance, and give it to him. Who cares why he pulled you over? You don't give a damn. You just want to get out of this stop without being put in torture cuffs or drag off to a dungeon. Now, no matter what he says, do you know why I pulled you over? Do you know how fast you were going? Why didn't you pull over right away? Did you know you ran through that stop sign? No matter what he says, I say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. And then you shut the front door and you stop talking. My arms are at a football position. I'm in a touchdown position. See the field goal I created with my arms and my arms? There it is. That's what you want to do. And then you want to plead the Fifth Amendment. Now, inside the trifold is a bunch of things. Is a bunch of things. Let me see. Sorry about that. So that all you do is open it up like this, and you tell him you have a right to film cops. If he tells you to get out of the car, it's right there. If he says you can't park on the highway, it's right there. If he wants to search your car, you can give consent and revoke consent. If the cop says you're giving him threats, you can tell him what the specific words of threats are. That's how you do it. And this is what I've been doing for the past couple of years. Oh, Michael Eline is here. Michael Eline, what's going on? This is Michael Eline, everybody. He is a bar card lawyer in California and Texas. He takes cases on contingency. He does all kinds of cases, car crashes, bike accidents, personal injury. But what he specializes in is federal civil rights violations, and he takes those cases on contingency. First Amendment attorney, Second Amendment attorney, Fourth Amendment attorney, Fifth Amendment attorney, Michael Eline right there. He has his own YouTube page called Ask Michael Eline. Now, I would recommend that if you need an attorney and you want someone to work for you on contingency and you have a video and you have a case, you reach out to Michael Eline. If your mom got hit by the mailman and the mailman said it wasn't me, you reach out to Michael Eline, show him the video, and see if you have a case. We have created a network of attorneys. As a matter of fact, I saw earlier, did you see this, Michael Eline? What the hell? What the hell's? You know what? We're going to show that video, but before we do it, let's jump into what the hell's. I want to show this video because the armed fisherman showed this earlier, and I caught the very end of the live. But I want to show you guys this video as well because he got red flagged. He got red flagged. And so here's the late, it's so long, but we're going to.
Happy Sunday fun day, everyone. Welcome back to our live.
Someone tell the Hales that we have a network of Second Amendment attorneys. Michael Eline is one of the best connectors I've ever met. Michael Eline sets him up, and I come in and knock him down. And this man right here is a connector. Guarantee you Michael has a Second Amendment attorney in Florida that can help these people. Let's get into the video a little bit. We're not going to watch it all because it's 2 hours.
Live stream that gets to that place on the planet.
That is going to, we're a little late. Judge has taken away my firearm. It's got battered. Jeremy, why not just have, because if they, Joshua, that you have from just me, starts with one person in it, because if they can take the things that are happening, then during the temporary injunction, you're off because to drive on my. I'm not joking. I was battered tonight. Okay. Oh, wow. Wow.
We're only going to watch 5 minutes of this.
All right.
Listen to what he says.
Here's the first thing. Okay. Here's the first thing as we're going live. All right. I can't stress this enough. And most of the time I'm joking and I'm happy. I'm not happy right now at all. I am so sick and tired of the corruption in Levy County. I am so ridiculously tired of the corruption in Levy County.
Put a
By
one
the
in the
way,
chat
Amanda
if you
Martin,
agree.
I hope you're watching right now because you're the big bombshell tonight.
Put a one in the chat if you agree. You're so tired of it.
First thing, here's what I want you to do. I'm begging you. I'm not begging. I'm asking you. I'm inviting you, and at the same time begging you. My First Amendment rights have been illegally taken away from me. My rights to my own land and property have been illegally taken away from me. My right to drive on my road to access all my property has illegally been taken away from me. Now, I'm in a profession that puts myself out into the world publicly all the time, which means privacy is a premium and protection is a premium. And because of somebody else's lies about my attorney, Mark Feather, stating that she said that he tried to pay her off to make this whole case go away, which is a pathetic, pathological lie, I no longer can have guns because I'm under a temporary injunction. This is a very, very serious issue because I was just battered tonight. And when you find out the connection of who did it, it's going to blow your mind. So here's what I need you to do. Share this with everyone. I can't stress this enough, okay? The corruption that is going on in this court, the things that are happening is not okay. And if it can happen to me, it can happen to you. Now, we have a meeting with Channel 20 tomorrow who's going to cover this story as well. Judge DeThomas has taken away rights. Because if they can take away, or if he can take away my right, he can take away every news station's, every channel, right? It starts with one person and it's downhill from that point. And I hope you understand that I'm 80,000 in the hole right now fighting this, not for just me, but for everyone. If he takes my right away, he can take your right away, and your rights are endangered as well. Do you understand? You typing in the chat right now is a right that you have, a fundamental right of freedom of speech.
Prayers, BC Eagle.
And this judge is attacking the foundation. This lawyer, Joshua, let me emphasize,
thank you, Catherine.
Joshua Silverman is attacking the foundation of your freedom of speech. And whether they both realize it or not, I'm fighting this fight against them for them. Because if they can take my freedom of speech away, their freedom of speech can be taken away as well. And so this is a very, very serious issue. My firearms, my protection have been taken away from me. And you're probably thinking, Jeremy, why not just have bodyguards? Why not have some? Do you understand? I've employed bodyguards in the past. Because of what this judge has done, I can't even have individuals around me with firearms to protect me. And I just got battered tonight. And when you see the connection of who he's related to, it's going to blow your mind. So I'm battered tonight. I can't protect myself because a judge has taken away my firearms. This judge has taken away my freedom and rights. Every YouTuber should be on this. Every news station nationally should be on this. Every paper should be on this. Every magazine, every platform should be on this, because a judge has illegally taken away fundamental First Amendment speech, and at the same time taken away my legal right to protect myself and those around me, because I live my life publicly out on the internet as an internet celebrity, whether you want to call it a bottom of the barrel Z celebrity.
Yes, I understand exactly what he's saying. So just so you guys know, you guys saw the numbers. My videos on this channel alone are seen 1 million times a day, every single day. So that means everywhere I go, people know who I am. I get both good and I get bad. I carry a gun with me almost always, because if someone's going to try to take me out, and it could happen at any minute, then I have to be armed and be prepared. They're limiting this guy's rights. They're stopping him from being able to defend himself. And so I'm on his side all the way. The name of that channel is called What the Hell?
Area. So when he saw police tracking a stolen car, he decided to help. Sam is fed up with crime in his area. So when he saw police tracking a stolen car, he decided to help. What happened next left the dad in hospital and his 8-year-old daughter traumatized.
And I know we're all fed up with car thieves and people stealing things, but he could have just told my husband, stop, put your hands up, and arrested him.
I can remember he was running up and then he punched me in the head, pushed me over, starts pushing my face into the floor, and then he was kneeing me into my ribs on the back.
What was your reaction to seeing what you saw?
I was really shocked, and I had my daughter in the back screaming as well. Sorry.
Sam Prendergast lives and works for his wife and daughter. The professional floorer takes on as many clients as he can to provide for his family. Even now, they're his focus, despite what's happened to him.
Well, it's more sad that my kid had to watch it.
The family were on their way to a birthday dinner, going via the Grand Plaza shopping centre at Browns Plains in Logan for a last-minute gift. That's when they witnessed police tracking a stolen vehicle.
They both went through the red light. So when we're going to the plaza, we saw them, and we knew that if they parked under the cover, that they would use the alleyway to run out. So we pulled over and we notified the first police officer. And then I let my husband out of the car so he could go and notify the other police officer.
Fed up with crime in his area, Sam says it was a split-second decision to try to help
When you make a split-second decision, you're making a mistake.
police. But that's when the unimaginable unfolded. He claims after alerting one officer to an exit the thieves might take, he tried to warn a second officer.
So he's trying to warn the cops about a thief. That's what he's trying to do. He made a split-second decision. As we know, when you make split-second decisions, you make mistakes. And he made a mistake here. This is a huge mistake that he made.
They just started charging at me, and that was, it's nothing I could have done.
And you can see him really pushing your head down there.
And then he drops his knee into my back there.
And that's the other police officer there?
Yeah, that's the one that I was originally talking to. He came over and helped me.
What was he saying?
Get off him, and that's the wrong guy. He's here to help.
Yeah, it's hard to see someone, like especially your husband, go through that. When the officer wasn't listening, he just kept going. It was just like we were in a movie. I couldn't believe it was actually happening. And especially my daughter seeing it.
So put a 1 in the chat if it's happened to you. Put a 1 in the chat if that has happened to you, where you're watching this happen. The cops attack you. The cops beat you. And you're living in this surreal nightmare that you can't believe that this is what's happening. You can't believe it. They're actually beating on your husband in front of you, and he's trying to help the cops solve the crime. And you've seen this. I'll put a 1 in the chat for me. That's definitely happened to me.
This dash cam footage captured by a shopper and sent to the couple shows Sam shirtless. He says the record humidity that day meant he was trying to stay cool before the birthday dinner and believes his appearance might have played a part in the mix-up.
You think he spotted you like that?
Yeah. And he thought I was a criminal because obviously I have the tattoos and stuff.
But the couple claims they've also been the victims of youth crime and have had multiple cars stolen.
So you guys know what it feels like to
We
be
do,
targeted in
yeah.
that way.
Yes, like I feel like you work so hard to be able to afford these things, and then people come along and just take it, and they don't want to work for it or anything. So it's really disappointing.
The police are trying to do their job.
Yeah.
Did you at any point sort of stop and think, oh, maybe I should just stay out of the way?
Well, it only went for about 15 seconds, the whole thing. So I didn't really have time to think.
The pair is accepting of the fact they were entering a high-risk situation and fully understand mistakes can happen, but they say the officer shouldn't have gone as far as he did.
Police in general, they've got a really tough job to do in the community, don't they?
Yeah, but they do have a really tough job, but it doesn't give them the right to think that they can judge people and abuse people just by the way that they look, I guess.
Police are under incredible pressure in general, but when you have a chase or a stolen vehicle and that comes to an end, the adrenaline's flowing, you have to make these split decisions, and sometimes they make the wrong decisions.
Former detective Terry Goldsworthy.
Oh, it's extremely tough. I mean, they're going from crime to crime. They're not getting time to adequately investigate things. They're seeing offenders they arrest, release straight back out onto bail, committing more serious offences. It's quite disheartening for police.
He said sorry about 5 times. It looked like he was actually about to cry. He felt really bad, but I still don't think it's acceptable.
Sam suffered a broken rib and a spinal fracture during the ordeal and was treated in hospital.
How would you describe what that police officer did to you?
Even if I was a criminal, you shouldn't treat people like that. And if you're not resisting arrest, I don't know why he's breaking my ribs and everything.
Queensland police...
Oh, because it's not just in Queensland, Australia. The cops come running in and attack people all the time in America, in France, in the UK. The jackboot thug pig mentality that America started in the 60s has been spread to countries all around the world. You know what the big 5 is, right? That's France, UK, England, New Zealand, and Australia, the big 5 eyes. Those 5 people, those 5 countries use the exact same policing techniques, the exact same propaganda. The big 5, France, England, America, the UK, England, New Zealand, and Australia. Those 5 right there.
Have told A Current Affair first response policing is dynamic and fast-paced by nature, and officers immediately cordoned the area off. Police then commenced searching in a heightened...
First response policing is dynamic and fast-paced by nature, and officers immediately cordoned off the area. Well, put a 1 in the chat if your fast-paced policing isn't helping crime at all. Put a 1 in the chat if crime is worse than it's ever been. Ever. 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 It's worse than it's ever been. But fast-paced policing is the cure to that. Okay, sure. Sell me another lie.
And evolving environment. During the search, a man was detained by police and subsequently released. The man left the scene without providing police his details. Police are reviewing the incident, including body-worn camera vision.
As soon as the other policeman came over, he realised straight away. And then he just quickly got off me. Said he was very sorry, but he said he's got to go because he's got to catch a criminal.
Said he was very
what sort
sorry.
Of things have become difficult for you since the incident?
Well, pretty much everything, really. Sitting down, standing up, having a shower, doing anything, really.
It is a case of mistaken identity.
Shine Lawyers, David Park.
He's obviously lost his earning capacity, and he doesn't know what the future holds for him.
Won't be able to pay my mortgage anymore, my car finance, none of my loans, because I can't go to work. They said it's going to be to 1 to 3 months before I can go back to work. So I'm going to have no income for 1 to 3 months.
You may understand why it happened, but that doesn't justify the fact it happened.
There was no need for the brutality, to hurt him physically like that. Like, there's no need
Look
for
at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Brutality, to hurt him.
Look, they're coming running in and they just attack him. They just attack him. Unbelievable.
It happened.
There was no need for the brutality, to hurt him physically like that. Like, there's no need for it.
Look at that. Oh my, and you see him drop his knee? Watch the cop drop his knee.
Like, there's no need for it.
Pushes his head into the ground. Punching his head into the concrete, trying to slam his head into the concrete.
Physically like that. Like,
Watch
there's
the cops trying to bounce the man's head off the concrete. Watch.
no need for it.
Then drops the knee. Oh my God. Just disgusting. Just disgusting.
Sheriff Lawless.
So this is American Patriot, episode 30 right here. Sorry about that. I didn't know the screen I was on the other screen. You have to jump back and forth and back and forth. All right. So this is American Patriot, episode 30. Put a one in the chat if you guys have seen this series. Has anybody seen this series? So here's the series right here. This is episode 30 right there. Subscribe to this channel and watch this entire series. This is unbelievable. The editor who's cutting this together uses Premiere Pro, the most efficient and normal editing system that everybody uses. It's not some antiquated system. It's Premiere Pro. So because he uses Premiere Pro, we're able to share back and forth files and we're able to work on things. And, to be honest, I don't do anything. He does all the editing. But this series, and I'll put the link in the chat, subscribe to this page right here. This series shows you exactly the things I went through when I was in Ironton, Ohio. I'm going to do another channel that explains what I was actually doing while I was there. So let's watch a little bit of this. And this is American Patriot, episode 30.
Sheriff Lawless said that the jailer hadn't had any issues with Blevins, nor had he been complaining of any illness. Around noon on Friday, a corrections officer was doing a check when Blevins was found to be feeling ill and had thrown up on himself. So they took him to St. Mary's Center in Ironton, where he had a seizure and passed away. Now,
it sounds a lot like Jalen Goodwin, by the way. Jalen Goodwin out of Springfield, Missouri, who, again, the guy swallowed drugs and he died in jail, just like Blevins, right?
Yes.
So go ahead and start off with your full name. I'm kidding. So tell me what you know here about the...
So I'll tell you a story. One time I have a brother, and my brother ended up not in his right mind. Somebody slipped him some drugs, and he ended up getting arrested because he was asleep on somebody's couch or floor or something like that. So they took him to the Lawrence County Jail. Now, remind you, my brother's out of his mind. He is medically not doing good. Gets beat down while he was in the Lawrence County Jail. Then they sent him to a hospital, which sent him right back. And then the jail, after having to fight with him, because he's not in his right mind, sends him to another jail that's associated with him, where they lock my brother into a room, pepper ball my brother. Like, he has marks.
They're shooting with a pellet gun.
Yep.
With the air gun with the peppers, with the
Yep.
pepper balls in it.
Yep. And by the time he went to court and everything, where you could tell that he wasn't in his right mind.
This is in the Lawrence County Sheriff's
Yep.
Jail.
And the courthouse.
Jeff.
And instead of, getting him medical help, and all of us told him he's not in his right mind, he's going through something. By the time he come out of jail, Lawrence County sent him to Butler County. By the time he come out of jail, he was 110 pounds, soaking wet, scarred all up.
From the pepper balls.
Yep. And they did nothing but charge him, give him a felony. We ended up having to put him in a hospital where he was diagnosed that the acid in his system had gotten stuck in his spine, and he became a schizophrenic from it. It took him a year, 2 years from medication to even become normal.
And so he was doing drugs, so he needs to be punished.
That he didn't even know about.
Right.
Like, they was slipped. My brother was never even,
How do you get the drugs in him?
He has no clue. Like, took a drink, I don't know. They couldn't figure it out. He still to this day says no, but his blood work was different.
What was it?
LSD.
LSD.
Mm-hmm.
It drove a family member of mine completely crazy, where he snapped and became a different person.
And to me, like, I know that I've watched your videos, so I know your history. You don't like cops. And me, I do.
Oh, you back the blue?
Somewhat.
Have you been in torture cuffs?
No.
Have you had to turn around, squat, and cough?
Nope. I have family that has.
Have you been wrongfully detained and turned around and skiffed where they put their fingers in the crack of your butt?
Nope.
You've been charged with felonies or crimes. You have to now spend all your money. Have you had to bond out of jail?
I've had to bond a lot of people out.
Have you had to bond yourself out of jail where you don't know if someone's going to come to your rescue?
Nope.
And you call home and they say, this is a collect call from you at this jail. If you want to never take this call, push 5. Have you experienced that? And then have you experienced the first time someone said to you, what do you do? What do you mean what I do? You back the blue until it happens to you. And I don't I
understand. Yeah.
You just said there's good cops. Those cops take people to dungeons. You know, I feel bad because I feel like I came at you too hard.
Everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their opinion.
I'm sorry for coming at you in that way.
No, you're right.
I'm just, you know, I can hold my emotions in check, but when people say they support this police system or that people belong going to a jail, it's because you never been there.
No, I have not. I know nothing about it.
Going to that dungeon unless you kill 6 people or rape people or molest children, and you and I align there, you can't be in society anymore. But people who are accused of drugs, or they have a domestic with their wife or husband, or assault with another guy on the street, you just need education. You need to have mandatory education, and not inside of a dungeon, and not in a solitary or a confinement position. And you should not be stuffed in the back of a little tiny cage just because you get arrested. That's preposterous. Why should you be treated like shit the moment they put torture cuffs on you? You see, you shouldn't have to be stuffed into the back of a car. This is why I don't support cops, and I don't support prisons.
Oh yeah, and I completely understand.
I would never take you there.
I agree. You're out here helping people. We do differ there. We do, because I've never had that. I just think more with my story. I was aggravated because there is situations in this town that should be taken, to me, a lot different. I've seen a lot of them happen, and I'm like, like my best friend, you know, her telling me a story. She got pulled over. They said 3 cops said because she ran a red light, but when she told them to look at the dash cam, you know, they mysteriously needed to go chase this other car.
Oh, they pulled over for no reason when they should have a dash cam. See the difference? The camera is the difference maker. Yep. You should have a dash cam, and you always record police. God bless. Okay, so what's your name, sir?
My name is Derek Medley. I'm here for my kids' dad, David Blevins.
Oh, you have 2 stepchildren.
Yes.
Okay, from your wife.
The girl I'm with now.
Okay.
Yes. I've been with her for about 10 years. He goes to jail. He complains that he's sick, days, and days. And there's more than 10 witnesses. They leave him in there. And he was an addict, but he had gotten himself clean. And he just started coming into his kid's life and got him excited and everything. And then he was complaining that he was sick. He couldn't handle it. After the 4th day of him saying that, they took him to the hospital, and he died 2 hours later.
Oh my God. Jump in the passenger seat. My phone's going to die. Just jump in the passenger. I'll be out. How you guys doing?
Good. How you doing, man?
Thank you, brother. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it.
Can I just get a quick picture?
Sure, you can take a picture.
Hey, I'm gonna get one.
Fists up. Over there. Look at her camera. Fists up. You have any other stories? It was a surreal thing for me. I'm sorry. I muted it so you guys couldn't hear me talking in the background, but it was a surreal thing for me because half the town hated me and the other half loved me, and I was a savior. And fame, when you're famous and people know who you are before you walk up to them and they've seen hundreds of hours of your content, it's a little bit surreal and a little strange. But at the same time, I realized that I was a savior for a lot of these people, and a lot of them had been oppressed and cheated for so long by the jackboot thug pigs in that town of Ironton. So, over there, look at her camera. Fists up. Okay. You have any other stories you'd like to tell?
Other than driving, them saying that they'll, I asked them if they have to have a reason to pull me over. He said somebody called in on me. I asked him what that reason was. He said it was drugs, but never found no drugs in my vehicle. Again, on that day last year.
Last year?
Last year.
Who pulled you over?
Cold Grove Police Department.
And which officer was it at Cold Grove? Oh, they all retired.
It was a younger boy. No, he's still there.
Oh, the young guy's still there?
Me over is still there.
In his early 20s?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I even had a lawyer, and I asked him, I said, are they allowed to pull me over and not give me the reason why they pulled me over, or let me see the call in that they called in on me? He said, yeah, they can. They don't have to.
So they pretextually stop him and they accuse you of having drugs, correct?
Correct.
And then do they take care of the car?
Yes.
Do they put you in handcuffs?
Yes, immediately and put me in the car, and then they
put him in torture cuffs. How long are you in the torture cuffs for?
For probably an hour.
He's in torture cuffs for an hour.
I was at least in the car for a half an hour waiting on a tow truck to come because they impounded my car when my fiance was there and asked
For what?
them-
Why are they impounding your
They
car?
say that it's a thing they have to do. If you get pulled over and you go to jail, they have to impound your car.
And you're going to jail for a warrant at this time.
For a warrant for child support.
For a warrant for child support.
Same thing I'm going to go to jail for this time when they get me.
So you have to go to jail for not paying child support, but how are you going to pay child support from jail?
They get paid every day for us.
Oh, so now we're paying double. We're paying to store you in a dungeon, and then we're paying your ex, your baby mama, we're paying her money because we got you in a dungeon. So the city state, they need to tax more people so that they can put more people in the dungeon and then isolate the woman with the children. Makes sense. It's a great.
And another thing I heard you talking about the other day with the dogs.
Yeah.
I just dropped dogs off at the Lawrence County dog shelter. And they said that they got a big grant through Lawrence County where they funded them so much money that they're able to take care of them now. Another cop.
Oh, he can do whatever he wants, but
I ain't got to give him my name though, do I?
no, but you don't want to be around. You don't want to be around. These guys are dirty. They're nasty. They're nasty. So they put you in torture cuffs and you're in the car for an hour.
For a half an hour.
Half an hour
until the tow truck gets there.
And then they take you to a dungeon.
And then my fiance's asking them to let her take the car, and they won't. We wait on the road back, and I had to give her all the money I had to go get my car out so it wouldn't get another $50, $75 charge every day.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
And I had to have my money in the car because if you get pulled over with it, they take it.
Oh, so you're about the 10th person who says that they take your license, your registration.
They take your money because you're in jail. You got to pay to be in jail, and they take all the money that's in your wallet.
Wow. They take your money. Wow. That's incredible. This is the 10th person telling me that the sheriff's or the Ironton Police Department takes the money out of your car or out of your wallet and they keep it. Is that the law? Is that the law? I'm for law and order. Is that the law? I don't think that's the law. Is that the law?
No.
Right. Right.
No, I mean, it's supposed to be a free country, and we're all supposed to be brother and sister. I wasn't the perfect guy. Everybody knows that knows me.
Sure.
But they all see how I turned my life around, what I got now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to stay this way with all the repercussions that I know are coming to me whenever I go to this stinking ass Lawrence County jail that is full. Every one of the toilets are full of toilet paper and piss. They won't flush shit. It stinks so bad in there that it makes you sick. I've always had to sleep under the table or on the table or somewhere on the side and always getting stepped on. I've been in there so many times whenever you be in fights because I'm laying in the floor, they hit each other, they knock them down on you. You got to jump up thinking you're about to get into a fight. They pull the guy out, whoop his ass, and then put the other one in a holding cell.
So he's saying the same thing that Sarah did. And he's saying the same thing someone else said earlier, that the jail is completely overcrowded and that there's no place to sleep. There's no proper, adequate hygiene stations where you can brush your teeth, take care of yourself. Is there dental floss? Is there any?
No, they give you a baggie, and in the baggie you get one toothbrush that's already been opened, and it's about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, and they give you a small tube of toothpaste and a bar of stinking ass soap.
Mm-hmm. And are there showers there? You can just go take a shower?
Yeah, but you got to do it in front of everybody.
This is what we're living in. This is what we're living in. We're living in this garbage. That's how human beings should be treated under the name of, oh, it's drugs, or, oh, they didn't pay child support. How many children have you stomped in?
None.
How many people have you cracked their skull open?
None.
How many people are left bleeding in the street because of you?
None.
1 second. How you doing? Oh, you're goo. You're GUE. Only got a few complaints about you. Only a few, to be honest.
I am all about supporting you, whatever you have to say, and I will defend you and protect you.
You'll defend that I'm press and that I'm freedom of speech and that I can.
Absolutely, you can say whatever you want to. And
He's lying. This guy was a jackboot thug pig. I had set up to fight him in a charity fight, and then my blood pressure, the doctor wouldn't sign the sheet for me to fight him in a charity fight. And at the same time, the trolls, the 32,000 troll channel, was stalking me. My van was stolen out of my driveway. My knee got dinged up. The MMA facility I was training at in Colorado, thousands of trolls called and threatened to downgrade the guy's gym. So my training got canceled. But this guy's a piece of shit, an absolute piece of shit. And Goo, I'd beat your ass on dude, I could beat the shit out of you in 15 seconds. You're a fat guy who did a bunch of steroids and got some muscles. I've won hundreds of tournaments in my life where I win the tournament and take the bracket home. You're damn lucky my blood pressure went crazy. My blood pressure was 200 over 110. The doctor would not sign the release for me to fight him in a charity event. And since then, just so you guys know, I will not fight a pig anymore because that gives the wrong message. We have to be above that. I can't fight every pig. If I got to beat up every pig I hated, I'd be in a fight every day. I'd be fighting every day. And then instead of me studying the history of constitutional law, understanding case law and teaching it to you, then I'm training to be a fighter. And it was the wrong move. I was new. I'd only been on the scene this was 2022. So I'd only been public for 6 months. I really used to think that beating up a pig on camera would do a lot of good. And believe me, we all want to see it, right? But that doesn't have to be me. I don't have to lower myself to this rudimentary mongrel knuckle dragger. I don't have to lower myself to this Chumpzilla's level. And that's what they were doing. And then they tried to set up a fight in the armory where some of my friends and family thought they were going to try to kill me. Because after you knock this guy out, what's going to happen then? You're in your underwear. Are you not going to shake anybody's hand? My buddy David said, all it takes, Chille, is one guy to reach over another with a blade, stick you in the throat, and you're dead. What are you going to do? You choke this guy out in 15 seconds because he doesn't know how to fight MMA. He's taking some jiu-jitsu classes. Bro, I've fought people since I was a kid on the mat since I was 7. So what am I going to do? Not shake people's hands after I knock them out, choke them out, whatever I do to the guy? And I'm in my underwear and it's an armory full of cops. Put a 1 in the chat if you think they would easily set up a way to kill me. So I'm really grateful that my blood pressure went crazy and my knee got messed up. My fight camp got canceled. My car got stolen. All those things happened in a few days period. So my blood pressure went crazy. I couldn't sign the release. Doctor said, I'm not going to sign it. I can't clear you. Your blood pressure is 200 over 110. I can't sign the release. So it was devastating for me. I cried my eyes out. You have no idea. I thought I let everybody down. But at the end of the day, I didn't. I'm a better man today because I didn't lower myself to this pig's level. Now, if I ever get up to West Virginia and there's an MMA gym up there, I would love to meet Goo in the MMA gym. You can bring a couple of your pig buddies. I'll bring a camera crew and I would choke your ass out in about 1 minute. If it takes me more than a minute, I'll be shocked. I won't even hit you because I promised this dude I would fight him. I will fight you in the training room. Yeah, I'm not going to do some big spectacle, but we'll film it. I would choke this guy out or beat his ass in a matter of less than 1 minute. Not a speck of athletic ability. None. It still chaps my ass. You know what I mean? Because I really wanted to, but I wasn't able to. And since then, we have to evolve. We can't show that example that we solve things by getting into an MMA cage. We can't do that. I've changed. I've developed. That doesn't mean I don't train MMA anymore. I still do. Train jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling. So I wanted to. Didn't work out. Yeah, me too. He's lying. He punched people in the head when they were in torture cuffs. I have several stories of him beating people when they were in torture cuffs.
All I think we need to do in this town is right in the pussy. Woo!
I gotta go to the next one.
Well, listen.
Honestly, I appreciate you being respectful with me. I really do.
Yeah. And then he was totally disrespectful in all of his interactions with me after this. He's just doing it because I'm on camera and I'm super famous in this town.
You've been a little bit disrespectful with some of my guys.
Well, they've disrespected the town. They've disrespected people's rights. Right? No, I have video of Blankenship stalking Sarah. Did you not see those videos?
Do you have totality there, or do you have partial evidence?
I have the whole video. I have I have the body cam.
Okay, well, if that's the case, then a judge will decide.
Well, can we release all the body cams then? You're the supervisor, Goo. Man, I hear this bullshit all the time. Oh, I can't do it. I can't do that. Then why can't you?
You can request it this year. Or you can get a subpoena.
I don't understand why we can't get the body cam for transparency.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just physically telling you that there's as you know, with anything else, there's checks and balances.
I'd hate to get you in the cage, Goo. You're a fucking beast, bro. This guy's a fucking beast. I would hate to fight this guy.
Honestly,
it would be one hell of a fight.
I actually would be willing to do that if we were there for charity and talk about it.
Let's talk. I'll do that. Let's talk about that. Let's have a conversation. Let's set up a cage.
When I'm not getting paid by the city.
Yeah, yeah. And let's make sure you're in good enough shape.
I want to make sure.
I'll do that.
Gentlemen, and we do it for
The guy's soft. 100% for the Boys and Girls Club of America, for Big Brothers and Big Sisters.
I'll make it better. We'll talk about it later.
And just so you know, that with my car being stolen, my camp being canceled, my knee being damaged, and then all the pressure of setting up this fight and this for, Boys and Girls Club and all this stuff, it all played into my blood pressure going absolutely crazy. My blood pressure today is 135/81. And that was when I was in the dungeon the other night. I quit coffee. I quit salt. I don't smoke weed. I just straightened myself straight up. Okay, Goo. I'm incarcerated, and now I want to assault a guard. Did you say that to the judge?
No, I did.
This is preposterous.
No, it was.
This is ridiculous. Did you say he arrested me because he said a lawful orders for me to move off the street? Did the judge read that? Who is your judge? Who is your judge? Waldo, Kevin Waldo. That's the guy who set up the rehab scam in Ironton, Ohio. Kevin Waldo, it's corrupt from the commissioners, judges, the prosecutors. So what they did in Ironton, Ohio is they said, we have such a bad drug problem here that they had a grant writer there in town. I used to think it was Bill Dingus, but it's actually somebody else. I can't remember their name, but Bill Dingus was the grant writer. And then what they do is they wrote grants to the federal and state governments. And then Kevin Waldo, who I call the corrupt judge there from the stories I've gotten about him, he then set and ran on an election that he would no longer sentence people to jail. He would sentence them to rehab. Well, then when I went there and I started investigating the Lawrence County Land Bank, what I found out was that they were giving preferential treatment and giving land deals to Deanna Holiday, the commissioner up there. And Deanna Holiday bought a rehab and owns a rehab clinic with her husband and I think another county commissioner. Well, Judge Kevin Waldo ran on an election ticket that he would no longer put people in jail. He would then send them to rehab. So now what happens? The judges, the prosecutors, the county commissioners all own the rehab clinics. So if you're in Judge Ballard's courtroom, then he'll send you over to Deanna Holiday's rehab. If you're in Waldo's courtroom, then he'll send you over to Ballard's rehab. I'm not sure if Ballard's an owner. They all have a stake in what's going on over there. And this is what I'm getting reported. And I have hundreds of voicemails of people telling me these things. So if you get arrested for shoplifting in Ironton, Waldo will sentence you to rehab because one of the prosecutors or one of the county commissioners is making money. And that's the scam that Kevin Waldo is a part of. Waldo, bro, you were trying to revoke my bond for peacefully protesting. And then the ex-chief of police who resigned after I left was sending cops to my location. So I would be in bond. I would be violating the stipulations of my bond that I couldn't be within 100 feet of the cops. I did what I did. I made some mistakes. I wouldn't offer to fight cops anymore because it doesn't do any good. If I beat up Chad Goo, which I could do it now, even though I haven't trained in a week and my face is all puffy. It doesn't change anything. I have to run for governor. I have to impress people with my knowledge on the Supreme Court and constitutional law and history. I'm not going to impress anybody rolling around on a mat with a pig. Nobody's going to be impressed who's going to be a voter. They're going to go, he's just like the rest. He jumped into a cage and rolled around on the ground. That's what they'll say. And so I have to be bigger than that. I have to be better than that. So episode 31 comes out on Friday. Oh, sorry about that. Here is the link. I will drop the link down in the chat. Here's the link to American Patriot. There it is right there. Right on. There it is. Cool, cool, cool. And now I'll show you this other video. This guy can't talk very well. He has a hard time speaking, but at least he tries. And I appreciate him going in and auditing.
Here. I was, I'm going back up here. I was waiting outside. I was asking a lady what time it is. She said, you looked at your iPhone. I said, I might have looked at the time wrong. And I think they're for telling me the correct time. Then she started saying, leave me alone. I'm actually here to conduct business. That's my business. I don't wish to discuss that with you under the Privacy Act of 1974. I would discuss that with her. I don't wish to talk to you about it. She's dealing with somebody else. But also, cursing is protected under the First Amendment. Just to let you know that if people curse at you, just let it. I know. I'm just telling you, just let it happen. Like, I know you're a pretty good guy. We talked before. I mean, I just wish to protect my rights. That's all. And I came here because I'm going through a deal. So. Yes, and she's in the eviction process, so I need to grab something here to prove. I need the document for. It was with Ian Leon, Mr. Leon, Officer Leon. He filed a paperwork, a document of an assault that took place in a domestic violence on. It was Melissa assaulted me, and I reported it to Mr. Officer Leon, and I want a copy of the report, so I want to pay for that report. No, all they gave me was a name and the day it happened. I didn't have that on me because she was rushing me out of the house again, and I was afraid to get assaulted the third time. So.
We'll work on you getting that copy.
Thank you. Right on. And did 123, the officer 123 ever get a vacation? Because he needs it, man. A lot of officers in this town need it. They're getting burnt, not burnt like they're just getting burnt out, like I said, I would do the same thing for you. I'd protect your rights if someone tried to violate your rights. I just, want the same thing.
Fair
And
enough.
just to let you know, there's a UCC contract, and it's on file with you too.
That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna see if we get your report. Okay, if you can't get the report, and that's it. We're gonna have to go. Okay.
Yeah, right. And if I have to, I just subpoena it.
That's fine.
I mean,
you can do that as well.
yes, I can do that if you can't find it. Yeah. I just want.
You sure it's us that took the report?
Yes, it was Officer Ian Leon. Okay. And then I had another one that she assaulted me later, so I need to get all this paperwork.
He's just trying to obtain a copy of the report. It should be good for him.
You make that uniform look pretty good.
Yeah, thank you.
A lot of officers, they don't make the uniform, they look kind of awkward in the uniform. Really? And I saw this one guy, I think he was from El Cerrito. I said, yeah, you make that uniform look good. And, wallet.
Yeah, that's fine. Just keep your hands over
Yes. I said, if he makes that uniform look good, like, it looked like he should be in a suit, like detective status, I saw a business recently.
Oh, yeah?
Dude looks like he's been hitting the weights.
Oh, yeah? He's a good guy.
Yeah. He said, I was messing around. I was up there. He was helping Rika. And I was messing around, and I said, we would just, here.
Yeah, don't do that.
Oh, sorry. No, change my
Do you
pocket.
see how his hand's shaking? Because it's when you get in front of one of these jackboot thug pigs, you can't help it. You're gonna have some emotional responses that you don't get a choice over. You might have your adrenaline spike. You might sweat. You might stutter. All kinds of things can happen to you if you take on the police face to face. That's why I'm so adamant about you just using the cop card and using the trifold. That's why I'm so adamant about you using these and using your camera, because it gives you a guide. He's talking too much. He's saying too much.
I was looking for the money. I'm looking for the money in my pocket so I can pay the young lady. I'm going to go over here now. Excuse me.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll talk to her. See if she can help you out.
Hello. I would like to get a report.
I would like not to be recorded.
Recordings protected.
She's not the same as me.
Yes. I can record in the station. No. This is a police station.
So this is what's going to happen. Either you can shut off the recording and speak to her. If not, you can leave.
So you're going to violate my rights to get. I have a right to get the report of my report. All right, that's fine. I'm going to leave then.
That's fine.
I'm going to leave and I'm going to. Actually, can I get a complaint form too?
Absolutely.
Can I get two, please? Thank you.
Yep, but you don't have the right to record her. You have the right to record me.
He's dead wrong. Yes, you do. You have the right to record anywhere that your camera can see from a public space. If your camera can see it, you can film it. If you're in a public area, I don't care if they are putting banking and social security numbers behind the glass. If the glass isn't tinted and you're standing in a public area, you can film it. I can film anywhere I can see. That's a fact. Don't ever let these jackboot thug pigs mislead you.
Record me all you want, but she's asking you not to be recorded.
I don't care what she's asking.
Well,
You're not her personal security. You're there to uphold my rights to film.
she's acting in a public capacity as an administrator for the police department. Yes, but that's
Same rules don't apply.
well, it's a public building, right?
Doesn't matter.
Yes, it does matter, you dunce cap pig, Lucido, you idiot. Yes, it does matter.
This is a public building, so I can record in public,
It
right?
doesn't matter, okay? So you can take the complaint forms, you can fill them out and turn them in whatever you like, all right?
Yes, sir. I can't believe they got you wearing all black.
Of course.
It's freaking hot. It's like 90s freaking 5
Well, and also you should be wearing white and yellow so that people can see you, so that you're not hiding, so you don't look like an army.
degrees.
Blue wouldn't be much different.
No. And you can't wear gray because that's like East Coast.
Okay. You can go fill these out in your own time, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You have a nice day. Thank
He doesn't have to leave. You can stay right there and fill them out.
Here, I got it.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
2 men who were injured and the family of 1 man who died sued LMPD, blaming the police chase for the crash. I was shocked. That's the reaction from defense attorney Thomas Clay to the testimony from LMPD Chief Jacqueline Gwen Biorel.
Police officers' credibility is one of the most important qualities they have. And if that credibility is compromised, it's difficult to get it back.
Metro Councilwoman Donna Purvis is not so sure.
You know, I know there are times that we may not realize or we may not remember. And I don't know if she was intentional. I hope not.
What are you talking about? Listen to what she says.
You know, I know there are times that we may not realize or we
She's making an excuse for the lying pig. Wait till you hear the pig lie in court.
may not remember.
She's making excuses. She's Louisville Metro Council. So she's the Metro Pit.
And I don't know if she was intentional.
Yes, you do. Because she got caught.
I hope not.
Well, you can't tell her intentions when she lies on the stand and commits perjury?
And I'm just thinking maybe it was just an honest mistake.
It all began,
of course,
in a civil trial brought by the estate of Trayvon Mitchell, who died after this 2021 collision on West Broadway near Dr. W.J. Hodge Street. 2 other men injured also sued. The civil lawsuit accuses an LMPD officer of violating the department's policy by pursuing a driver after a traffic stop, leading to the crash. At the time, Erica Shields was the police chief. Gwen Biorel, then Shields' top deputy, responded to the scene. Called to the witness stand on Monday, she testified she was not wearing her body camera at the time.
If you would have had it on you, you obviously would have turned it on, right? Because you were out there, you were interacting with the public, right?
I would have activated it if I had it on.
That's your story, you're sticking to it.
That's my
I would have activated my body camera had I had it on.
You were out there, you were interacting with the public, right?
I would have activated it if I had it on.
That's your story, you're sticking to it.
That's my statement.
The attorney then produces footage from another body camera. You can't see the whole image here, but it shows her wearing a body camera.
Where's the footage, Chief? Did you delete it?
I didn't delete anything.
Where's the body cam footage, Chief? Did you delete it? When we give the pigs the body cam, this is what happens.
Wearing a body camera.
Where's the footage, Chief?
So they showed a picture. She was wearing the body cam.
Did you delete it?
Did you delete it? The lawyer asks.
I didn't delete anything.
How's the jury supposed to believe that? If you said all along you didn't even have it with you. How are we as a community supposed to believe that?
Chief Gwen Biorel declined.
She looks real honest.
Declined a request for an interview, but issued a statement. It read in part, "The testimony I gave was to the best of my recollection of the events that occurred on July 6, 2021. I did not recall wearing a body-worn camera that day."
So let me zoom in here, right? If you take a look, she looks like a nice person. She looks like an honest person. She swears that she did not think she was wearing a body camera that day, even though a guy died, right? And this is the same bullshit front that these jackboot thug pigs. Look, you look at her, she wouldn't lie. Then they catch her lying, and he asked, did you delete it? Where'd the body camera go? Where's the body cam footage? This is the problem when you give the cops the body cam. Who gave the cops the body camera? The Democrats and Republicans. That's who gave the cops the body camera. And you look at her, you think, oh, she got to be telling the truth. She looks like a nice person. She's not.
Mayor Craig Greenberg's office also declined an interview request, but issued a statement saying the chief misspoke in response to a gotcha question from a lawyer trying to inflame the jury and drive up their own payday. Now, the trial is expected to continue next week after the holiday weekend. Meanwhile, Larry Williams, the driver who fled from police, was convicted of manslaughter and fleeing police this summer. Mark Vanderoff.
They got to throw in the statist garbage. They have to throw in that statist crap at the end. Well, he was arrested and charged with manslaughter, and he's in jail, and it's just, yeah, I agree with you. Let's go. Back the blue till they F you. That's a good one. Absolutely, Greg. What a sorry excuse for a mayor. It's just such a joke that we have allowed this system to perpetuate. I saw this on Rogue Nation's channel. I love Rogue Nation. I mean, he studies a lot. And I saw his channel, and I wanted to share this with what I saw because he does a nice job.
Got a video coming to us. This happened out in Colorado, and the gentleman has since moved to Florida. He doesn't have a channel. I met with him personally and got the video from him. So we're going to watch the video, and at the end, I'll go over some information to help fill in the gaps and everything and let you guys know what was going on.
Camera recording started. Camera recording started.
Put your hands outside your door. Step out of your door. Back facing me. Drop. Step out of your door.
Three sheriffs have guns drawn while screaming commands.
Back facing me. Drop your shit. Drop your stuff. Put your hands on top of your head. On top of your head. Put your hands on top of your head. And I'll reach the gun. Turn around. Put your hands on top of your head. Walk back towards me now. Backwards.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Get your knees. Get
your knees.
There it is right there. The exact same thing that we see in video after video. You could be standing there with your hands up. We saw the one yesterday where the guy had his hands up in the white t-shirt and the cops punched him in the face with a gun, kicked him in the groin. We saw earlier today in Australia, the cops just come running and attack the guy. He's got his hands on top of his head. What is that?
Dude, go to your knees. I am, bro. All right, stop resisting. Dude, I am. Go to your knees. All right, stop resisting. Dude, I am.
What the fuck?
Look what they're doing to him.
You don't want to listen.
Dude, I am.
We'll tell you.
Dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I literally am. Like literally.
We'll tell you when you obey. You're not doing anything.
I wasn't.
When you start reaching to the car, you're not doing anything.
Right there, they're sticking his face into the concrete. You see him back of the head? And he's got some prayer on his arm as though he's some sort of shepherd. He's a piece of shit jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section, JBTP.
When you start reaching to the car, you're not doing anything.
He's pushing his face in the concrete. Look at him shoving his face in the concrete. And why are they treating him this way? He was surrendering.
Roll over on your side.
Dude, what the hell? What are you guys?
He has a pocket knife, and they're all so scared.
Stop. What are you tripping about?
We all got guns pointed at you. We're all telling you what to do, and you're not listening.
I was listening.
No, you.
Oh, so I have to kowtow to you? Go F yourself, pig.
You reached in the truck.
I was listening. I was literally back.
His head's gashed open from where they shoved his head into the concrete. Look at his head. He's bleeding.
Backing up right to you guys. Yes, I was listening. I don't know. I was literally backing up. I don't understand what you mean. I don't understand what you mean I wasn't with you.
132 roll, man.
What the hell was that about, man? I don't even understand that. I don't even understand that.
Like double up.
What's the problem?
Stop turning, like that.
I don't know what I'm
listen
doing wrong.
to what I say. Let's start there.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Get in there.
I honestly don't know what I'm doing wrong, yo.
Hey, stay with him, keep an eye on him.
Like, what am I being pulled over for even? Did you tell me that? I don't give authorization to search. I don't understand what I'm being pulled over for.
Give me a second, I'll tell you. So this vehicle was involved, I guess, in a verbal
I'll go ahead and
sort of
do the
argument.
tow sheet.
Okay. Person who said that this truck left their house, stole them.
Did you hear it? Listen to what this pig says.
What I'm being pulled over for.
Give me a second, I'll tell you. So this vehicle was involved, I guess, in a verbal
I'll
some
go ahead
sort of
and do the
argument.
tow sheet.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and do the tow sheet.
Person who said that this truck left their house, stole them.
Okay.
One for minutes. Got it.
So we want to make sure for Rogue Nation that we hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed. And then I already put a thank you here when I started the video, but I'm just going to say just real fast so that he can get more people over to his channel. Algorithm. Just add a comment and then make sure you add that like and hit your subscribe button.
Huh? You just got him in the car when you rolled up. Hey, Bonnie. All right, man. Just give me a second. I got to say some stuff to you real quick, okay? And then I got some questions to ask you if you want to talk to me, all right? You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him present while you're being questioned. You cannot afford to hire a lawyer, or one will be appointed for you to represent you in any questioning. If you wish to decide at any time to exercise these rights, not answer any questions or make any statements, you have the right to do so. You understand?
Okay. William, Mary, I had a night.
Okay, you still want to talk to us?
I don't even know what I'm.
No.
You still want to talk to us?
I don't even know what's this about.
Do you still want to talk to me? Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
I plead the Fifth Amendment.
You said you don't want to talk, so.
That's right.
If you want to go ahead.
129, can you show one Mirandais, please? You show the party in custody Mirandais. Thanks, bro. Yeah, we'll have medical come check out your head, man. You got a cut on your eyebrow.
I mean, he fucking punches me on the fucking face.
He didn't
on
punch
the
you in
ground.
the face.
Well, what the fuck? I mean, literally, he punched me in the face while I'm on the ground. Huh?
No, he popped your head off the concrete's what he did.
Nobody.
You guys have body cams?
They're all
wonderful.
And don't worry, I'll be reviewing that. In the meantime, I need to go ahead and secure yourself in
What?
there.
And don't worry, I'll be reviewing that. Of course she will, so she knows the lies to tell because we gave the body cam to the cops. Who did that? Democrats and Republicans.
Is who's this? The sergeant?
I am.
You are? Okay, yeah. I mean, this dude
And
literally
he's the other
charged me.
student. Yeah.
Go ahead and get in there until we get that.
What's up? A what?
Make sure that you got the victims.
Yeah, yeah, not a problem.
Not related to his crime.
Right.
What was his crime?
Right.
I didn't mean to.
No.
I just didn't know if you knew that there was nothing. I just didn't want you to.
And all that
I'm different.
We're good.
Then you get on the phone. No, fool.
Yeah. No, go ahead and call for the next location. It's going to go to our yard. Thank you. What is the abbreviation for Nebraska? NB?
Yeah.
132
Grab me another one, bro. No, never mind.
You probably have to put a record. Not related. To this crime. Right. But it's still right. I don't mean to. No. I just didn't know if you knew that there was nothing. I just didn't want you to I heard something different.
So, you heard me tell him. Well,
We were both ordering him.
we dropped
and
his
he
stuff.
reached in the freaking.
And he
he almost got shot.
Yeah.
Right before you rolled up, he started reaching right back inside the driver's seat. Me and John
Can we get an expectation?
But I heard you say drop your
He
stuff.
said, "Drop your shit. Put your hands
Right.
on your head."
And then
Right after that, he dropped his stuff and he turned around. And
Right.
his hands inside.
Right.
Yeah, man, I got confused because you said Washington, and I'm thinking, okay, that way. I forgot Washington goes through this little area.
Can you email me the vehicle information, suspect information, and then can I let you know when I get to?
Yeah.
What's that?
No, never. 1831.6. No. 2223.
Sorry, I thought the secret was 2011.
So, you heard me tell him. Well,
we were both ordering him,
dropped
and
his
he
stuff.
reached in the freaking. He almost got shot.
Yeah.
Right before you rolled up, he started reaching right back inside the driver's seat. Me and Jones were both.
Yeah.
6'4".
All right.
But I heard you say drop your stuff.
I said, "Drop your
Please
shit.
don't
Put your hands on top of your head."
And then
Right after that, he dropped his stuff and he turned around and he just put both of his hands inside.
Traffic stop out.
Yeah, man, I got confused.
That
You
was
said
close.
Washington, and I'm thinking, okay, that way. I forgot Washington goes through this little area.
Yeah.
And then he's like 5th, and I was like, is this Canyons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
Barely. Everything like a block that way is ours. He's back here. He's got a cut on his eyebrow, his right eyebrow. He's bleeding. Hey, man.
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah. He got tackled because he kept reaching for stuff and he hit his head on the concrete a little bit. He's just got a cut about his eyebrow.
You heard anywhere? I'm gonna get a 4x4. Well, let me take pictures before I didn't give any obligation to search.
We didn't search.
We're not taking your vehicle.
We got the VIN number off the inside. We got the VIN number off the inside of your driver's door, which is 100% legal, and we'll be finishing the rest. Your vehicle is going to be towed. It's going to be going to our impound because it's involved in a crime.
Huh?
It's involved in a crime, so we're going to tow it.
Involved in a crime.
Yep. You didn't want to talk to me anymore, so I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Okay?
Allegedly involved in a crime.
Not allegedly, it was.
Huh?
Not allegedly, it was.
It was. So what? I'm Dr. Sergeant Coffee wants to talk to you. This guy has $30,000.
Asset forfeiture coming up. Asset forfeiture coming up.
All right, well, got a warrant for that.
Henry's in the room, everybody.
I did.
Casey said some shit, you know? We didn't take it or some bullshit.
Oh, only because there's cameras rolling, or you would have stole it like in the old days.
He's got a bunch of phones, though. Is her phone missing?
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask her.
Another fucking phone here.
Okay.
There's this phone. Two more phones. It's got a player full. Receipts and shit.
No registration. Okay, let's stop. Where's those keys at?
There we go.
Okay. All right. Look it up. Here.
I was not clear from that.
Oh. It's a lot of cash, but nothing in a white envelope.
He only keeps track of all of his money. All his bank transactions, all these. This guy's spending some serious money.
Yeah.
What the hell is that sound?
Just watch the video.
Yeah, I don't know why you not wearing your gloves.
Give me a pair. You got a pair?
No. Not taking these keys?
No, they're not the right key fob. It's got to be for a 2018 Terrain. What's in this thing right here?
Just looking for a way to criminalize this man.